steroids causing infertility as a side effect. I know I've done previous videos on this where I've gotten my own fertility back, or at least I've got my own natural testosterone production, my follicle stimulating hormone, my luteinizing hormone back by using HCG, Clomid, Blue Ox Test Booster, and tamoxifen. Basically PCT. But Trevor here's got an interesting story about a very specific incident of infertility, most likely caused by steroids, from personal experience. Trevor, tell us more.
You brought it up yesterday. Yesterday brought it up, and I think actually it was all of us about the ceviche.
I said, how are you not getting all these girls you're coming inside pregnant? All these Asian hookers and Latino hookers. And he said, well, they're all ladyboys, so they can't get pregnant.
He can't get them out pregnant. Yeah, so that's it. That was it. No, so it was a joke about worrying about getting somebody pregnant. And I told him I don't have to worry about that anymore. It's been a long time. I don't have to worry about that kind of thing.
Remind him you're only 26 years old.
Yeah. So at 26, I don't have to worry, and I haven't had to worry since I was 18. Or 18 and a half, 19. I was 19, I believe. And basically, from years, everybody is different. Some people's natural production come back. But when I was doing what I did, the only time I ever really came off my first cycles a couple times for a short time. The rest I ran cycles indefinitely. And what happened when you go get your fertility checked, you can still produce sperm, which is true, and low, high, doesn't matter. It's the effectiveness of them. So you can be producing them and they're basically dead. And in my case, that's what it is. I can produce small amounts being on like TRT and SARMs. They're still producing very small amount, but they're just dead soldiers. They're not really doing anything. And it has been over 6 years and it still hasn't changed. And I could still try and do the HCG, or in this case, it would be an HMG I would have to do for a longer time. But I also have an old coach who had the same issue, was doing, it was over 2 years, almost 3 years of doing different styles of PCT with HMG and HCG, and he's in the exact same boat, and he ran probably a tenth less than I ever did in my life, and for a shorter time. He's in his late 30s. So everybody's different, and it can happen to anybody. And you've also heard of pros like Flex Wheeler. He was on, his entire career was on steroids, never came off. And he has, six, 7 kids. So he was getting kids during his competition phase. And I know friends that have been on lots of gear from the doctor and underground labs and gotten their girlfriends pregnant multiple times. So you'll never know until you get checked. And it's not just how much sperm you have, it's the effectiveness. There's a test of how effective the actual sperm are. And so steroids actually produce less sperm, and then the other side effect is when your hormones do come back, how much sperm is produced, but what are they actually doing?
By the way, that's the Panama Canal. We're eating lunch on the Panama Canal right now. So do you think, I'm just going to say, just guessing, do you think you could get your fertility back, knowing all of the science you know, if you really wanted to?
Yes, but then there could be problems. Almost like a female. If I did and I really wanted to go through with it, there's options I could do, and there's options for people to do that for some reason most people don't talk about. But then the chances of having like doubles or triplets, twins, things like that, it's the same as like in fertility clinics when they put you on Clomid, HCG. You have potential risk of birth defects or different birth problems like triplets, or maybe what would you call autistic and things like that.
And after today, I'm pretty sure we know that we don't need any more of those.
Oh, God. All right, so are you saying that fertility and steroids is a predisposition thing, just like hair loss and steroids? I've done a lot of steroids that should have made me lose all my hair. I still have all my hair. I mean, I do have a hair growth protocol I follow, but still, some people, no matter what, they take steroids and lose all their hair. So it's very unique to the individual.
Yeah, it's unique when it comes to permanent. It's very unique when it comes to permanent shutdown, but at the same time, the duration, the quantity, and what you're using. If somebody ran, say, like a nandrolone, because I was on either a nandrolone or a trembolone, some type of progesterone, probably for 5, 6, 7 years straight. You know, when you think about it, except for some time off from surgeries and things, 6, 7 years straight of something like that, and your body's ability to produce the hormones again and to actually make sperm in the first place, and for that sperm to be working. For most people, it'll be so low, they'll call it they'll tell you you're infertile, even though there is still some in there.
Is this a reason to cycle? Is this one of the reasons why people should cycle steroids? If they ever want to maintain fertility, they probably should come off and reset?
100%, but it's not to the extreme where people say you need to run 12 weeks on and then the same amount of time off. If you're taking a break once or twice a year, that's plenty.
And explain how certain steroids cause infertility more than others.
Things with the greater shutdown and stronger shutdown, like trembolone or nandrolone, those would be the worst. Anything with an extreme shutdown that's going to take that much longer to get your own natural production, because it's not just getting your own testosterone, your LH, all those things have to come up in order to produce sperm. You have to look at how sperm are actually made. And so the harsher the shutdown is, the harder it is for your body to come back and actually produce those too.
This question is for Josh. Josh just started his first tren cycle. He's 3 weeks in. Tren being very highly suppressive. Tren carrying with it the risk of permanent infertility. Not likely, but possible. What's your concerns about that, Josh? You plan on having any more kids? Are you glad that it could be potential birth control?
Had I known that at 18, I might have. Had I known that at 18, if I'd have known that there's a possibility of shutting down my sperm production forever at 18, I might have started with tren from 18. Just to save the possibility of child support and headaches. Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
That's actually why I run Ment sometimes, is for the birth control. But now I changed my mind. I want to have more children now. So I'm taking it back on the Ment personally. And we'll see. We'll see if I can get a girl pregnant, if despite running all that Ment. Remember, I was doing 100 milligrams a day. We'll see if my fertility comes back. So keep following us so you can follow these experiments. And if Coach Trevor does decide to have kids someday, we will document his entire fertility protocol, just like we may do a hair growth protocol on him and grow out his hair as another experiment. So lots more experiments to come. Live from the Panama Canal. Be swell and swole, my friends of freedom, pioneers of human evolution.